Hey guys, I recently completed this here red 2x4 lap steel, and I posted a video of it and a sound demo, and I compared it to my blue lap steel that I had made last year. And I talked about a couple of the ways that they're physically different, like they have different pickups and different bridges, and this one only has volume, this one has volume and tone. They got different tuners and some other things. But one of the things I talked about is they're tuned differently, and I got a couple questions where people asked about the tuning. So that's what this video is about, is the difference in those lap steel tunings. Now before we do these sound demos, I should mention, I built this one last year, but I literally built it and put it in the attic because I didn't really have a place to hang it up, and I thought, oh, I'll get around to it someday. And I literally have not touched it since I made the build video. And just this week I got it down and actually started playing with it again. So what I'm getting at is my steel guitar skills are not good. These are both fretless instruments, as are all steel guitars, lap steels. So if you're off a little bit, it sounds like you're off a lot, and you're gonna hear my playing is pretty sloppy. So I don't pretend to be a steel guitar player by any stretch of the imagination, but I am gonna talk a little bit about these two tunings. So this one is tuned in the C6 tuning, which is usually called the Hawaiian tuning, or sometimes they call it the Nashville tuning too. Those cities couldn't be further apart, so I don't know why. But anyway, it's tuned to an open C6 chord. So if you just strum the guitar open, you get a C6. And the string gauges are, the high string is pretty heavy, but the low string is quite light. And so the difference between the string gauges, or between the notes for that matter, is fairly small. So it's tuned fairly tightly, I guess you'd say, whereas this one is tuned to an open D chord, and it's more traditional, like as a standard guitar tuning. In fact, a lot of people tune 6-string guitars in DADGAD tuning. This is almost the same thing. This one, excuse me, this one is tuned to D, A, D, F sharp, A, D for an open D chord. So to put that in perspective, this is a C, this is a D, so you would say that one's lower, but it's not, it's actually higher. So this is almost an octave higher than this tuning. So if you think about that on a 6-string, just a standard tuned 6-string guitar, this would be the 8th fret on the low string, and this one you couldn't even play on the low string because it's lower than the low string. You'd have to tune the low string down a whole step to play this one. So a big difference in the tuning, but also in the sound. When I hear this one, I think of like Hawaii. So this is like the epitome of Honolulu, and this is like the epitome of Memphis. This one sounds like bluesy and grindy and, you know, more like a traditional guitar. And this one sounds like really kind of exotic, islandy, or that's at least what I think. So I'm gonna do a clip with each of them. So first, let's do the red one. So let's take a trip to Memphis here, and we'll do a little sound clip on this one. So again, my sound clips are not the greatest, but you'll get the idea. And I'll put just a little bit of breakup on it because you really kind of get that blues grind. So here's a clip with the red one. And now let's do a clip with the blue one, and we'll clean up the tone just a little bit and take a trip over to the islands. So picture the breeze blowing, and we'll do a little kind of hula-y thing with this one. Hula-y, is that a word? I don't know. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. We'll do a little sound sample with the blue one. as you can hear, they're quite different. And there's some other lap steel tunings as well that you can do, but these two give you a very wide variety of tones. So there we go, red and blue, Memphis and Honolulu. Hey, it's lap steels, why not?